last week in another car, so this is his third car in 4 races.
I guess as long as it's got a steering wheel and 4 wheels, he's ready to go racing. Well, it looks like the Monte Carlo, supplied by Valenti Automall, is pulled into the pits undercover. We're about to get the race started. Kip Taylor in the starting spot will wave the green flag, and we're off and racing. Robbie Summers jumping out to the lead, but John Blewett right next door as they make their way through turn number 3. About to complete the first lap of 200. They make their way by the start-finish line.
Side by side, it looks like Summers will have the edge as they head into turn number 1. Right behind those, 3-time champ Tony Hirschman looking for that second spot.
Tony Hirschman getting a little bit loose out there. Ruggiero ducks to the inside in that NASCAR Kitchen Supply automobile. On the inside, looking to move into number 3 spot on the speedway, but Hirschman with the horsepower out there high through turn number 3.
Ruggiero and Hirschman bump as they come off of turn number 4. Reggie with the preferred line, the inside track makes his stick.
Great jump by Ruggiero out there as he started in the 7th position on the speedway, currently running 3 in front of Hirschman.
Single file right now. Rob Summers continues to set the pace. John Blewett in 2nd. Reggie working his way up in the 3rd spot.
Eddie Flemke up into the wall, lost it coming out of turn number 3 and put the 79 automobile up into the Arco barrier.
Poor Eddie Flemke, he has had no luck at all this year.
So once again, they get the field side by side as the Bob Valenti Automall Monte Carlo heads for cover. Blewett and Summers side by side again. They get the restart line. Looks like a great start as they make their way down the track. Ruggiero cuts to the inside of Blewett right now, trying to take over 2nd place on the speedway in that number 2 automobile. Here they are slicing and dicing, making their way back around turn number 4, back in front of the grandstand.
Reggie with, again, the preferred inside line on Blewett. Tony Hirschman knocking on the door there. Mike Stefanik got a little bit loose off the turn 4 and set Teddy Christopher back a spot or 2. Summers continues to lead on lap 10.
It's almost a carbon copy of the modified race we had a little bit earlier. Christopher starting back in the pack, making a charge early towards the front to establish himself as one of the front runners. He's currently in that 2nd pack of automobiles.
Rob Summers continues to set the pace. John Blewett running in the 2nd spot, just sizing him up. A lot of them don't want to set too fast of a pace too early.
This is a long race this afternoon, Brian, and they're going to want to conserve their tires and fuel here for 200 laps of racing. Ted Christopher in the 25 behind Jamie Tomeno out there in the 99. Of course, they're all following Mike Stefanik in that 2nd group. Of course, everybody's following Robbie Summers in the Mystic River Marina Dodge.
As we mentioned earlier, John Blewett won the race last week at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And with that win, John Blewett moved up to the 5th spot in points, and he will be a championship contender this year.
No question, as we have trouble on the front straightaway. Everything coming to a stop in a hurry.
Pace car pulls off on the backstretch. They'll restart on lap number 20. Rob Summers, John Blewett, Reggie Ruggiero, and Tony Hirschman, the front 4. It will be Summers once again getting off to the jump. Blewett follows him as Mike Stefanik looking to pick up the 4th spot to the inside of Hirschman.
Of course, Hirschman up here from Northampton, Pennsylvania, Bear Motorsports Chevrolet, putting that Chevrolet power into play as he tries to pass Ruggiero. Ruggiero getting a little bit loose coming out of 2. Hirschman side by side with Mike Stefanik into 21, side by side racing for the 4th spot on the speedway.
Between the 2 drivers, 7 NASCAR championships between them. Stefanik with 4, Hirschman with 3. Whole lot of talent right there.
No question about it, and look who's making his way up through the field, the 25 of Ted Christopher. Making a pass on Hirschman. He has Hirschman, and he falls into the line right behind Mike Stefanik. Action on the track once again, the car number 15 having problems up there in turn number 2. That's Joey Grachin out of Selden, New York, the Triple Crown Trailers Pontiac. Robbie Summers side by side with John Blewett III. Once again, the pace car pulls in the cover. They're in the scale area, the infield. And they're headed towards the restart line. It looks like Robbie Summers with a tremendous jump out there. And action on the track right now. As the number 80 of Gary Casella, Saugus, Massachusetts, gets a look into the infield as he watches a freight train blow by him of high-powered Featherlite modifieds.
Rob Summers got a tremendous jump on that restart, and Reggie was quick to follow him, but Blewett was able to get the pedal to the metal to maintain that second spot.
Reggie Ruggiero in the car number 2 on the back bumper of John Blewett III automobile as he tries to push the 2 into the second spot on the speedway. Once again, the flag comes out. Not the good colored flag. That's Jim Willis from Little Silver, New Jersey, the JD Racing Chevrolet.
But after that, it was about 100.
Once again, the Millennium Automall Monte Carlo Supersport ducks into the infield. We're about ready to make. Reggie Ruggiero trying to get a jump, jumps almost into the infield as they take the green flag. And we have cars slowing on the track. The number 94 of Todd Zegedy comes to a complete stop.
Again, we're getting set to go back to green. Come down to complete lap 42. Summers and Blewett touch as they come off the turn number 4. Summers with the advantage.
Tremendous side-by-side racing, Brian, under green flag. Let's see how long this stint can go. Here's a nice move put on by Blewett as he tries to put that 77 in front of Ruggiero, closing down the door.
Once again, Ruggiero and Stefanik just punch as they come off of turn number 2. Christopher picks up the 4th spot as he sneaks past Mike Stefanik.
Looked like Stefanik lifted there for just a second. That's all that Teddy Christopher needed to put that 25 automobile into the 4th spot on the speedway. Now he's chasing down Reg as they make their way through turn number 3, headed into turn number 4.
Tommy Covino, who started in the 10th spot. Once again, we have caution in turn number 4. Mike Uinitsko and Tom Baldwin, 2 Long Island drivers, go around. Uinitsko, another driver. This is a first-year team, and again, he has had nothing but tough luck.
That'll be a quick pit stop. They're going to have to pull some sheet metal away from that left rear tire. Once again, the restart, great restart on the part of Robbie Summers out there at car number 4. Reggie Ruggiero in the number 2, trying to slip that number 2 into the second spot. Challenging Blewett, has the nose of the NASCAR Kitchen Special. Down low, he will move into the second spot, trying to slam the door.
Ruggiero picks up the spot, but right now Stefanik is knocking on Blewett's side door, and it looks like he's going to grab the 3rd spot as they head into turn number 4.
Wheel-to-wheel racing, side-by-side racing here at the Waterford Speedbowl, the Budweiser Featherlite Modified 200. And you talk about the cream rising to the top. Here comes Mike Stefanik putting that 21 into the 3rd spot on the speedway.
You know, you look at what's going on here, it's almost like the draft at Talladega. You get out of line and everybody's going to go right by you.
That's got to be a very sinking feeling, seeing all that hardware flashing by. Robbie Summers now has his work cut out for him. Reggie has got some racing room. He's broke away from the rest of the pack. A 2-man battle for the 1st spot on the speedway. Robbie Summers, Reggie Ruggiero out there. Ruggiero trying to go down low, can't pull off the pass right there.
Reggie will use all of his knowledge to try to gain that spot here. And even though Reg hasn't run here a lot, looks like he knows what to do at what time to do it.
No question about that. He's looking high, he's looking low, he's slicing, he's dicing, trying to find a spot on the speedway. Summers, Ruggiero, Stefanik, and of course the number 11 of Tony Hirschman, the top four.
Reggie knocking on the back bumper of Rob Summers, who's led from the opening green. Mike Stefanik in the catbird seat, taking all the action in.
Waiting for something to happen up there. Of course, John Blewett III has dropped back a few spots and currently holds down the 5th spot, very closely followed by Ted Christopher in the 25. That group of 4 cars chasing down the leaders.
Blewett's actually lucky, even though he lost 3 spots. It could have been a lot worse. Now settled into the top 2, followed by the next pack of 4 cars.
Tommy Gravino out there in that car number 3 trying to move in on the back of Ted Christopher's automobile to compete with our leaders.
Right now in Rob Summers' rear view mirror, all he can see is the eyes of the Reg, looking to grab that top spot away.
NASCAR Kitchens Painter's Edge Pontiac, driven by Reggie Ruggiero, putting on the challenge to Robbie Summers and that Mystic River Marina Dodge. As Reggie tries to go high, runs out of the horsepower that he needs, he's going to drop it back in the 2nd spot.
Reggie decides to move it up a notch, try to see if the outside groove will work for him, but Rob Summers keeping it low on the white line to maintain the lead.
Setting a torrid pace here, next time by 62 laps left to go as they make their way around the Waterford Speedbowl. Great battle up front, but here we have a group of 4 drivers that could be up there very, very quickly. Mike Stefanik went into that second group of 4 as they chase down Ruggiero and Summers.
Now the one thing I'm sure maybe even the Reg doesn't want to do, but him and Summers are really setting a fast pace while Stefanik and Hirschman and Blewett can lag back a little and sort of conserve their tires.
Plus it looks like they're happy to sit into somewhat of a draft, whatever draft they can get here, and help each other out as these 2 drivers are out there battling it out for the 1st spot on the speedway. Ruggiero tucking the nose with the number 2 as close as he can to Robbie Summers to pick up a little bit of a draft there.
Coming up on lap 70 and another 2 circuits, and Summers continues to show the way. John Fortin almost clips the wall off at turn number 4 in the 84.
You can see the damage to the back of Jerry Marquis, number 30 out there. It looks like he should have zigged instead of zagging out there. You can see the damage on the 3rd car. Must have got a bump.
As we mentioned on lap 50, Jerry was in the 20th spot. He has now worked his way to the 10th spot, so it just goes to show you the ability of Marquis as a driver.
Yes, indeed, a 70-lap show on the board out of 200 here this afternoon. Robbie Summers holding on to the lead so far, but here comes Ruggiero on the outside in a battle of horsepower coming down the straightaway into turn number 3. Ruggiero trying to make the move, can't do it, as Summers once again crosses the line in the lead.
Side by side, they head down into turn number 3. Summers and Ruggiero side by side. Ruggiero at the outside, looking to make it stick, but it will be Summers at the line.
Of course, counting up the laps here, 73 now showing on the board. Of course, they're the ones setting the hot pace here on a beautiful afternoon at the Waterford Speedbowl. Let's see if Ruggiero can do it this time. Puts the nose of the number 2 across the finish line first.
But Ruggiero still has to work hard to grab that spot, and it appears he'll clear Summers as they head into the 4th turn.
So a spotter doing the job, giving him the word on when to drop that number 2 down in the front of Robbie Summers out there as they make their way down the back straightaway. Stefanik continues to hold on to the 3rd spot. Tony Hirschman the 3rd, and the car number 11 in the 4th spot. John Blewett rounding out the top 5. Right
now, positions 3rd through 6th are content to run nose to tail, waiting to see what happens. This is, again, a very similar to Stafford, where we've had early cautions, and now we're in the midst of a long run.
Which we wanted to see from the get-go. We hate to see any of these drivers meet misfortune with all the preparation that they do to get these cars ready. And right now they're behaving themselves out on the track.
About another lap or two, Ruggiero will begin to lap some of the back markers, and that's when it gets hairy here, because there's not a whole lot of room out there, especially as the sun sets and the track gets a little greasier.
No question about it. And these drivers want to move up to the positions they can get early, hold on to those positions before the track conditions change. Robbie Summers out there. We have mishap on the track is a 04 automobile exact car around that red Waterford. Trying to get that car back out of the track. We're going to stay green. Reggie Ruggiero, Robbie Summers, the 21 of Mike Stefanik and Tony Hirschman in the 11. Your top 4 drivers showing on the Budweiser scoreboard.
Reggie getting ready to put a lap on Doug French from New Jersey and Howie Brody, who runs at the Riverhead, Long Island. Those 2 cars will be next up for Ruggiero and Summers to set down.
This is where Reggie can really show his knowledge of racing, as he can use these guys as kind of a pick and roll type of situation, giving himself some separation from Robbie Summers.
And Mike Stefanik and Tony Hirschman running in the 3-4 spots. They just seem to be following the path that has been cleared by Summers as they go through the lap machines.
It's a question about conservation of what you have as far as your car, your tires, your fuel. Also, there's safety in numbers. When they line up in that graph, it saves all of these guys a lot of these commodities we were just talking about.
This is where it'll get hairy for Reggie. You've got a couple cars who have been in the pits, and Flemke and Pasteryak, and they're battling. Not only do they may even be down last, but they don't want to lose another one.
That's right. Looks like that's not going to be the case for Flemke, as Ruggiero flies by Flemke. Now coming up behind Charlie Pasteryak in the battered number 5. Ruggiero will make short work of that as he makes his way across the start-finish line.
Reggie is putting quite a distance between himself and Summers, as there's about 5 car lengths between them, as Reggie continues now to put Mike Iwanitzko and Tom Baldwin down the lap.
Ruggiero's on a rail as he makes his way by the Budweiser scoreboard on the back straightaway. Here comes Robbie Summers by Eddie Flemke trying to catch up to the Reg. Taking a few laps to do that, I'm afraid. 90 laps showing on the scoreboard. In this race, 200 laps to complete our Featherlite modified feature.
Reggie continues to set some of the lap cars down with relative ease as Vordermeer and Casella make contact heading into turn number 1. Miller trying to stay on the lead lap.
That's true, they can race to an extent. They always keep their eye on the flagman up there, and he's telling them to get the number 2 some racing room. As that car is on a rail, as we mentioned before, the number 2 sponsored by the folks at Les Care Kitchens, Painter's Edge. It is a Pontiac powered car, and showing the way here with 94 laps on the board. Robbie Summers has dropped down to an inside groove. He's following some of the slower traffic around the speedway. But only one car separates he and Mike Stefanik in that 21 car. Now we have a move being put out by Pileup on Tony Hirschman in the 11, trying to get by him and pick up a spot, moving into 3rd on the speedway.
Ruggiero having a little bit of trouble with Casella And L.W. Miller finally clears Casella.
Content to drop to number 2 down there behind L.W. Miller. Now pokes the nose out. The outside cuts to the inside, trying to get by. And this has presented quite a challenge. And once again, a caution on the speedway as the 77 of John Pileup slows down on the back straightaway. Of course, a name that you've heard a lot of in the Winston Cup, NASCAR Winston Cup circuit. And it's Steve Park was a 2-time winner of the most popular driver award back in 1995 and 1996 out of East Northport, New York, and he's definitely made the transition. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, green flag racing as the NASCAR Featherlite Modifieds back doing what they do best, and that's make their way around the speedway. And big pileup on the back there, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the number 11 of Tony Hirschman was that car up into the wall. Joining him up there is the number 31 of Tony Ferrani Jr. and Rick Fuller. Look at the front of the number 8.
That was another situation where somebody just checks up, and with everybody coming full board, there's not a whole lot of room to stop.
Question about what's going to happen here in just a few short seconds as the Valenti Auto Mall Monte Carlo pulls for cover. The cover as Reggie Ruggiero is on the inside of row number 1. And number 2 automobile out and away from the rest of the pack. Now Robbie Summers has his work cut out for him. He's out there behind some slower vehicles. And Charlie Pastriak out there is one of the vehicles in front of him. He's going to have to break free if he wants to chase down Ruggiero.
Tough decision for Summers because he wants to get in the right spot because he doesn't want to keep the inside open for fear of losing that to either Christopher or Stefanik. So it's a tough middle of the road act you're trying to do.
Still plenty of great racing left to go here. There's Tom Baldwin, the driver in the number 7 automobile, one of those great drivers out of Long Island, coming up here to do battle. He's out there racing. He's not going to give it up to Robbie Summers without a fight. As Summers leading Mike Stefanik around Tom Baldwin. Here comes Teddy Christopher in the 25 as they chase down Reggie Ruggiero.
Ruggiero has clear sailing in front of him as Summers now continues to set the pace in second. Mike Stefanik running in third. Teddy Christopher in fourth.
Well, they managed to get by Baldwin, and now they're on the hunt once again. Of course, Charlie Pastriak, that number 5 automobile, in between them and the number 2 automobile of Reggie Ruggiero as they continue their chase of the leader. 116 laps in the book so far, and this time by Reggie Ruggiero bumpered up another lap. Great racing from front to back. This is pretty much single file racing at this point on the speedway. Cars to keep a watch on are the 4 and the 21. They're currently second and third. The 4 is Robbie Summers, the 21 automobile of Mike Stefanik.
You're in that part of the race now. If you're Ruggiero, who you don't know whether you want to back it off just a little bit and try to conserve the tires, or whether you want to try to open up as much distance, because who knows when the next caution may fly.
And personally, there isn't enough traffic out there in order to put between you and the rest of the competitors. So right now, looks like Reggie's strategy is this: pedal to the metal, use the clean air as much as you can, and build up as much of a lead as you can as the laps tick down. 80 laps left to go, check in 79 laps left to go in this feature event. A lot of money on the line for this world-class driver, Reggie Ruggiero.
Christopher has been sizing up the back bumper of Mike Stefanik the last few laps, looking to make a move here.
driving a very, I wouldn't say conservative race, but a very smart race out there. Of course, he got caught up in an incident during our SK Modified feature when he was battling for the lead. This time by, he's going to let the folks in front of him make those decisions. Stefanik drops in behind Pastriak in the number 5 automobile. Robbie Summers to the high side, trying to get by Charlie Pastriak. And that number 4 car, let's see if he can do it. It's horsepower. And a lot more racing room as he has to drive to the high side of the track. He'll pick the 4 across the start-finish line, pulling in front of Pastriak, and may use him to put some distance between he and Stefanik.
Right now, if you're Reggie, you just love seeing that in your mirror because these guys are working twice as hard to get by a lapped car. So, you know, it makes them work much harder, makes them use up their tires a lot quicker while Reggie's got nobody in front of him.
So now it just comes down, of course, the driver's here in tune to the noise of the engine, looking for every little knock, every little sound that might not be right to him, and so it's kind of tough to be out there in the lead like that. It's a double-edged sword. For one moment, you're thinking, great, I'm in the lead, I'm in the clean air, I'm out there, I can drive whatever kind of race I want. Then on the other hand, you're looking for anything that could possibly go wrong to go wrong out there. Murphy's Law coming into effect a lot of times.
And drivers will always say they always hear things when they're far out front. You know, and because they're not concentrated on keeping somebody behind them and everything, they can listen to what the motor's doing.
And this is a gentleman that knows a lot about race cars. He's a chassis builder, and a lot of these cars have Reggie Ruggiero prepared chassis underneath it. So he knows what to look for, what to listen for.
Reggie is literally out for a Sunday afternoon drive right now. We are down to 68 laps to go, and Ruggiero has a good quarter of a lap lead over Rob Summers and Mike Stefanik.
Well, Ted Christopher out there, he's putting the nose of the 25 on the back bumper of Stefanik's automobile, following that great modified champion around the racetrack. I guess he's decided that if a guy knows how to get around, that's the man to follow. There's Stefanik, the driver to ever win touring championship in one single season. Here's Rick Fuller pulling into the staging area to come back out onto the track. That's a nice sign to see Rick back out competing, although he's going to be several laps down.
Now, a lot of times race fans will say, well, why do they come back out? Well, there's two purposes. One, several cars could drop out and you could pick up a few additional spots. Not going to be pay-wise, it's point-wise. And points are what pays the money at the end of the year. And the other thing is, if there is something additionally wrong with the car, you can figure it out right now.
Save a little bit of sleepless nights in the garage during the week as you get ready for your next competition. Reggie Ruggiero out there now in the number 2 in the traffic. Another incident out there on the back straightaway. Hard impact against the back wall.
It appears to be Doug French. You can't really tell from the angle here.
Yes, it looks like the 98.
Dave Bergman is the son of the legendary Bug Stevens. Right now, you've got the guys running for the win, running right up front, top 4 positions. You got the lap car of Baldwin and Pastriak, and then you have John Fortin.
This restart will be dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie Summers on the outside, Reggie Ruggiero on the inside, pedal to the middle. Ruggiero with a great restart, puts that number 2 back out into the lead in no uncertain terms, putting some separation between he and Robbie Summers right now. Robbie Summers has his own problems to contend with. He's got Stefanik and Christopher knocking on the door.
Ruggiero able to make a clean getaway as Christopher was fighting to keep that 4th spot as his car got quite loose coming off of turn number 4. Stefanik continues to work over Summers.
Now Stefanik moving to the outside, inside, all over the back bumper of that Mystic River Marina Dodge, driven by Robbie Summers, looking for racing room to get around him. Goes to the high groove on the speedway, decides better of it. As the 31 automobile pulls into the pits, that's Tony Ferranti Jr. Great racing all the way around. Ruggiero once again showing you the muscle he has in that Lescare Kitchens Painter's Edge Pontiac, pulling away from the rest of the field.
Reggie again has just what he likes right now. He's got a clean track in front of him, and he's got the positions behind him fighting each other.
Once again, Ruggiero, Summers, Stefanik, Christopher. The top 4 cars on the lead lap. It looks like Stefanik looking for the second spot on the speedway. Puts the move on Summers, puts that 21 automobile into second place.
Well, I'm sure Reggie's spotter is barking who's behind him right now, and if you're Reg, you don't want to see Stefanik. 2 of the best in business, Ruggiero and Stefanik.
Now it comes down to Teddy Christopher trying to put the move on the number 4. Robbie Summers puts the 25 on the inside of the track, decides better of it. He's going to follow Robbie Summers around at least another circuit. As Stefanik leads that second group of cars, and we say second group because Reggie Ruggiero is in a group of his own, a league of his own today, as he's put that number 2 out into the lead with less than 60 laps left to go. 50 laps left to go. 46 laps showing on the board. 45 this time by.
Here's that Robbie Summers car is getting a little bit tight as they come off the turns, which means the car wants to drift out toward the wall.
And that just will open the door for Teddy Christopher. I think Christopher just biding his time out there in the 25. He's running the low groove. Although he looks like he can run anywhere he wants on the speedway. He's been driving a very conservative race, saving those tires. And it looks like it's just a matter of time before he's going to put that car by Robbie Summers. As they're side by side coming down the back straightaway. Here goes Christopher putting the nose of the 25 in front of Summers, looking to move into position. He's taken that spot away. Third spot on the speedway goes to the popular driver, Teddy Christopher, in the 25. Christopher started in the 11th starting position on the speedway, is currently running third behind Mike Stefanik in the second spot, and of course our race leader, Reggie Ruggiero.
Well, right now the interval does not seem to be closing any. It seems that Ruggiero is able to expand his lead a little bit, but he'll be encountering heavy lap traffic in the next few laps.
No question about it. As a matter of fact, he's pulling up on that traffic right now. See Rick Fuller in a very unfamiliar position, about to be lapped by another car. Here comes Reggie Ruggiero around Fuller and continues his drive around the speedway. Gary Casella, the next man, will be passed by Reggie Ruggiero in that number 2, the next car in that traffic. Of course, here comes Teddy Christopher now. He's leading Robbie Summers around the track. He's got his sights set on Stefanik.
Now, even though John Blewett is down a lap, you can tell that he has got a car, if he could only get that lap back, that could contend.
It's going to be tough to do, though. Robbie Summers now realizes he has to defend his spot. He has to get that car back in gear. He was a pole winner here for this event. Currently running 4th on the speedway. Reggie Ruggiero, Mike Stefanik, the 25 of Ted Christopher, and Robbie Summers, your top 4 automobiles. On the speedway, looks like Pileup putting that 77 automobile on the inside of the track, trying to get by Summers and head towards the front of the pack and try to get back that lap. Summers has his sights set. Once again, action on the speedway. That's Ricky Miller from Agawam, Massachusetts, the Mardi Gras Chevrolet.
And you can be sure Reggie did not want to see that.
Green flag racing. Now a question again to be answered by Reggie Ruggiero. How fast do I need to go to win this one? What sort of pace should I set? Well, Mike Stefanik's going to help him answer that question as he is barreling through the competition. He has that 21 wound up as he's coming up on the slower traffic, which he should blow by without any problem.
Well, Michael knows that the race is running down, and if he's going to make a move, he's got 25 laps to do it.
It doesn't take long to cover 25 laps here on the 3rd mile oval of the Waterford Speedbowl, as we've seen this afternoon. Here comes Mike Stefanik around Eddie Flemke with a full head of steam as he is closing the gap, visibly closing the gap on Reggie Ruggiero. He's decided the time is now to make my charge, and he's doing it.
Again, Reggie's going to encounter the lap traffic in a few laps, and that will only help Stefanik close the gap up, but then Stefanik's got to work his way through.
Ted Christopher now following suit. He's around Flemke as he gives chase to Stefanik and Ruggiero, moving that 25 into the 3rd spot on the speedway. The next man on that lead lap is going to encounter the traffic will be Robbie Summers, who started from the pole position in our Budweiser Featherlite Modified 200 race this afternoon.
Well, although Stefanik was able to put a couple of lap cars down quickly, it appears that Reggie has maintained the distance that he had before the caution just came out.
Let's see how he uses the traffic this time, Brian. Here he is coming up on a slower automobile, the 96 of Howie Brody. He's had a tough afternoon. He spent quite a bit of time in the pit area, and he'll get a chance to watch the number 2 fly by. 82 laps in the book, time ticking down in this one. As we mentioned before, they can cover a lot of distance in a little bit of time. Stefanik tried to make his move, but now he's going to encounter some of that slower traffic. Reggie's put 3 cars between he and Mike Stefanik. Gary Casella. 62 of Jim Willis. And the aforementioned 96 of Howie Brody. Ruggiero and Stefanik. The race now.
Joey Caracci spins off at turn number 4, and Reggie Ruggiero just sneaks by on the outside.
That definitely will close the gap again.
Looking at past winners here, if any of you happen to see the Busch race from Talladega, Mike McLaughlin beat out Jimmy Spencer in just a tremendous race, but Mike McLaughlin won the 1986 race here, while Jimmy Spencer won the 1987 race here. So a lot of great drivers have run here at the Waterford Speedbowls. Ruggiero, Stefanik, and Christopher, 2 to settle it.
Single file start. There's a little bit of an advantage for Ruggiero on the restart. And once again, he's got that car dialed in. Look at the horsepower. He's putting a little bit of distance between he and Stefanik as they came out of the back straightaway, but then Stefanik closed in coming down the front. This race is going to shake out to be a classic event. You can tell. Here comes Stefanik now with a head of steam, closing the gap on Reggie Ruggiero.
Right about now is when you begin to hear the little cranks in the car and everything, and wondering, come on, baby, just hold on for 9 more laps.
So Ruggiero trying to put one in the record books here this afternoon at the Waterford Speedbowl, the Featherlite Modified Budweiser 200, about to shake down to its final laps. Here comes Mike Stefanik in the 21 automobile, and has driven a tremendous race as usual as that 21 automobile on a rail. The England's best rebuilders automotive Chevrolet gaining ground on Ruggiero's Pontiac.
Appears that Stefanik is able to close up in turns 3 and 4, but that the Reg gets a good run off of turn 2 to pull that distance back apart.
Christopher and Robbie Summers, your second set of drivers, are currently in 3rd and 4th on the Speedway. Portland rounding out the top 5. It looks like this one's going to come down to Reggie Ruggiero and Mike Stefanik, as it has so many times before. 4 laps showing this time by.
They shouldn't encounter lap traffic. It appears that they will not play a part in the race, so it'll be Ruggiero and Stefanik to decide it for the win here in the Budweiser 200.
And once again, as you said before, Stefanik closes the gap in turn 1 and 2. Looks like Ruggiero picks up a little bit of distance out there, but now 2 laps showing on the board. Can Reggie Ruggiero hold off the onslaught of Mike Stefanik? Here comes Reggie Ruggiero down the back straightaway, headed into turns 3 and 4. We have a spin. Ruggiero puts the 15 around once again. This is going to slow down the field. 1 lap left to go. That has closed the gap between Ruggiero and Stefanik. It's going to be a drag race. 199 laps showing, less than a lap to go. Ruggiero looks like he is in the proverbial catbird seat. He's going to take the checkered flag. What a race.
Well, that certainly was a hard-fought win for Ruggiero, who picks up his first victory of the 2001.
So we'll shake down like this. Your top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Reggie Ruggiero takes home the win in this race. He was closely followed by Mike Stefanik. Ted Christopher finished 3rd, and Robbie Summers in the 4th spot on the Speedway. We're going to go trackside in just a few moments. Brian Danko is making his way through the throng. Of course, you can see the drivers getting out of their vehicles right now. An ecstatic Reggie Ruggiero puts that car number 2 into the winner's circle. It's a great afternoon from NASCAR Kitchens and Hater's Edge.
See if we can get in there, Reggie. You're a rocket.
The car was just awesome today. It was just perfect. It was on rails. The crew did a great job over the week, and Hoosier brought a great tire. These are the tires we qualified on over a month ago, and we didn't know if they were really going to get hard because we had time trial on them, and they had a heat cycle and sat there for 2-3 weeks, and we had to come and use the same tires today, and they're just perfect. And it's a great little racetrack. There's an outside group. I passed the 4-car for the lead about 8 or 10 laps outside of them. Finally got by them, and there's 2 groups out there. It's a nice little racetrack to come to.
We were wondering why you were trying to get Summers so early. Did you know you had a car that once you got out front could stay there? Because this is a tough track.
It's a tough racetrack, and I wanted to get to the lead while my tires were still real fresh. We didn't really have a lot of practice today. We had 20 lap practice in the morning, and last year when we raced here, it was a night show. We knew how the cars would react, in cooler, damper weather, but with the sunshine out and hot racetrack, we didn't know what exactly we would do. So sort of took a guess, and I wanted to get to the front early then they have to pass me, so that's why we're there.
A lot of cautions. Did that really affect the car in any way, knowing that you had every time it would close the field up?
No, the cautions really didn't hurt you. It just makes the race, prolonged a little bit longer. And, you want to see not a lot of cautions. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. You don't want to see anybody losing any equipment. I just like the race.
Reggie Ruggiero, winner of the Budweiser 200.